We got a brand new style of card, new keyword. We've got a bunch of new stuff. We also have the dev video. Let's check all that out, including the blog in the brand new season, X-Men Origins of Apocalypse. We do actually just have the video. We're going to watch it and react to it. So those are the new season pass cards, right? We've got, or not the new season pass cards. It's Selene. I think that's Oz. That's the middle guy isn't Ozymandias. I don't remember what his name is. You have Gambit, obviously, and then Juggernaut. And they're all in the waiting room. With the Horseman additions. And so this is the season pass card, right? That's En Sabah Nur. Also, this music's a bop. Oh, Caliban, that's his name. I honestly, for one, I actually kind of forgot. I thought Juggernaut wasn't a mutant. I thought he got like gifted with a god or whatever. I actually don't remember this stuff in case it isn't obvious. But anyway, these are the 5. Well, there's also, they're not showing, I think there's more cards coming out this season than just them. But yeah, Origins of Apocalypse season.
In case I don't make it back, I just discovered a new objective mechanic in Marvel Snap. I just fear it will be apocalyptic. Ah!
We'll see. I know it's a bit right now because this En Sabah Nur is Apocalypse. I'm going to give the take that I think objective will be the most broken mechanic in Marvel Snap. Wait, that's actually just Egypt. Oh, that's sick.
I viewed this video extensively, and there's no doubt in my mind that Ben completed something most evil, and it definitely destroyed him.
It's called objective, people. When the requirement is met, the effect fires at the end of turn.
Okay, so objective, when it's met, the objective fires, so it triggers at the end of the turn. So you can see this like objective, the way it highlights, it's very nicely between like this cost and the power, and it tells you how much it's done for the effect. So this is 6 out of 6 because I think for En Sabah Nur, right, every single front row location has to be filled. So this makes a lot. I like this little mechanic. I like this little keep track of thing. The way that this is highlighting, it looks like it's doing the same little effect that the little eye does whenever next to a card when you can, or the question mark that it does next to the card when you first see a brand new style of ability. So I do like the way that this looks. It seems really interesting. And it seems like it's a very clean way to implement a tracking into this game in which thus far you only have 2 numbers on a card. And this is a nice little kind of like cheat of a way to add a third number, or 4, honestly, if you're keeping track of how many you've done. We have our first objective card of the season with En Sabah Nur. With the objective ability, have a full front row at each location, and then once you do that, there's a little arrow, and it says transform into Apocalypse Celestials Chosen. Now, En Sabah Nur has a 4/5 stat line, and Apocalypse Celestial Chosen is slightly different. It's a brand new card, basically. Sorry, so that's a cool little ability right there, but that's also worthwhile, I think, to note. So for his ability in particular, and I thought that objectives count what you do throughout the entire game, but for his ability, it's said very clearly, if he is in play and you have a front row, so both need to occur. So you can't have a full front row and then get Killmongered and then play Apocalypse Celestial Chosen, or you can't even, I guess, play En Sabah Nur and then get Killmongered, right? Because it checks at the end of turn. So this is a end of the turn after he's in play. It checks this bit, which is okay, fair enough. Oh, and then he transforms into Apocalypse Celestials Chosen. So after you've completed his objective, he transforms into Apocalypse Celestial Chosen, 4 cost 8 power with the on reveal ability. Swap the lowest power card in your front row at any location with a card from your deck. Okay, yeah, it seems fair. It seems like a solid ability to go for. I honestly don't see any issues with this style of ability. It makes a lot of sense. It feels like a pretty cool card. I've heard people saying that they're more iffy on it. I think he's gonna be really. I don't think this card. Honestly, I think that there's gonna be a lot of really powerful objective cards this season. I think Ensaban Nor's gonna be pretty sick and pretty good, but also not busted. I'm excited for him.
Ben is 100% dead.
That's terrible. Cool. All right. Well, that's a little sad. Hey, by the way, also, Ben Brode is dead. Not actually, right? No, this is a bit for the video. He's not actually dead, right?
But what if it wasn't Apocalypse, but his wife?
All right, so they're saying that Iska the Unbeaten killed Ben Brode. Iska the Unbeaten is a 4-cost 3-power card with the end of turn ability. If you're losing this location, double this card's power. Iska's sick. I'm real like this is end of turn decks are gonna be really powerful already, but it also is a different style, I think, for the end of turn decks because I don't know how much you really want to play it with Thena, which is interesting. Which for what's worth, right? They are using Thena and Iska here together in their example, but I don't know if you're really gonna want to use them in like the same pile.
Who married Apocalypse. In Marvel Snap, if her location is losing, she doubles in power each turn. I'm afraid all Ben could do was double over.
Double over. I needed to sit on that pun for a second.
Ben's disappearance was chaotic, total Stampede energy. And when I think Stampede, I think war and horses, especially Juggernaut.
I think a lot of the season pass cards or series 5 cards for the rest of the season are going to be these horsemen. Starting off, of course, with Juggernaut, the Horseman of War, as a 2-cost 2-power card with the objective ability, have 6 different powers among your other cards in play. Yeah, that makes... so it's a 2/8. Again, one of the big things, right, about objectives that you can only do them once. And it does check at the end. So, like, it feels fine. Right, and I think it's a pretty decent payoff here, right? Because you're looking at this stuff and you've got Mordo, you've got the Shield, Nebula, and then Zemo and Misty Knight. You've already got 5 different powers, and all you need is one other card. I don't think it's that difficult to have 6 different powers among your other cards. This seems like a pretty sick card. I see honestly no issues with Juggernaut.
Of War. Recruited by Apocalypse, War's objective grants him a boost if your cards in play have 6 different power values.
I think there's a lot of sick cards this season that seem pretty interesting and honestly powerful. I'm excited about them, and I think that Juggernaut's going to be a really fun one as well. Why does he have extra power here more than... Oh, probably because he got hit by a Viv Vision at some point. Yeah, that makes sense, right? And I'm assuming they're showing... It says among your other cards in play for his ability. I'm assuming that there's some other cards on the other 2 locations that we cannot currently see that have a little bit more power than... or different amount of power than Juggernaut or something else. So that's why that Juggernaut is getting triggered here.
When War gets spurred on like that, somebody's getting thrown. Sorry, Ben.
I don't know why, but I've decided I would like this horse to do a future season review or like reveal video. I think this horse has a lot of real talent. No offense to anyone else who's in this video, right? Y'all doing awesome. I want this horse in I don't know what video. Give me a horse doing the video. I don't know. Like, oh my gosh, could you imagine if people did like voices for the horses? That'd be hilarious. I want the horse doing a video. Sorry, this is not important.
Ben's sudden disappearance didn't arrive randomly. It was triggered like a curse.
I just like the way that he looks so scared right there. This is just a very cool, like the zoom in. Sorry, I just am enjoying it. This is fun. I do think Gambit is going to be powerful. I think this card is awesome. It's such a good card. Gambit, Horseman of Death, at a 3-cost 3-power card with the objective ability, play 5 total cost, and that's uppercase C. So according to like the logic of what we've known in the past, that means it cares about the base cost of cards. So if you played a 6-cost card that was generated by a Valentina. That should trigger with this. That should just be enough there. Yeah, Gambit seems amazing. This seems like a great card. I think the worst part about this card is that objective isn't end of turn. It isn't a on reveal. It's not on, like, this card doesn't work with Aurora or like get buffed by Aurora. It'll still work with Aurora. Like, you want this card, I feel like, in so many decks. Thanos is going to love Gambit.
Gambit, Horseman of Death, tracks the total cost of created cards you've played. The end of turn after that total hits.
Sorry, like, I don't need to say more stuff, but that's important, right? So it looks like the ones that are saying have, like, so Juggernaut and Ensabot Noor, they both say have a certain thing. So they care about that when they are on the board, right? Whereas Gambit looks like he's tracking the entire game. Every single bit of the game, he is tracking to make sure at least you have played the 5 or total cost, the 5 or whatever of created cost, basically. They're not making it clear in terms of whether or not this is like a 5 exactly, or you can just use a card like I mentioned with Valentina, but I feel like it probably would still work with Valentina. That makes sense still. I mean, this is also a Gambit. We're familiar with Gambit, right? It does a nice little effect. Although I do like that it actually is coming from the character, the card itself on the board, the little like pew effect, in comparison to where the other Gambit, which it actually pulls from your hand and makes it seem like it's from that, which is, yeah, different cards, different effects, different animations. I do love the animations in this game. The visual effects, sound effects, very good.
I am quite certain he didn't die quickly or pleasantly.
The man died. If the man died, let him die.
Perhaps Ben was drained first by another messenger of apocalypse.
Honestly, I think Ben is being drained just by the amount of jokes being made at his expense. But beyond that, Caliban, the Horseman of Pestilence, a 3-cost 4-power card with the objective ability to have 3 costs that are 4 cost or higher in play. And then you afflict the highest cost enemy card with -7 power. I mean, again, Caliban seems like a really interesting card. I feel like it feels like it's going to be okay. It is a 3/11, basically. That's real, right? That is a very real effect. And again, as an end of turn-esque with like objective things, this card seems good. I think that Caliban should be a pretty fun card. I like that. It's going to be... I'm making my guess on this card. I don't know if it's going to be good or not. I feel like it's going to be pretty solid, right? Because you can just put this in like a Doom 2099 deck and you've gotten your trigger immediately without any issues. And that's just great. It's also a really solid card for decks, much as I don't love them personally, like Erishim as well. Like those, love this type of card. It's just hey, play your big cards out. This is great for ramp. Just a lot of really good ways to utilize this. However, it's not like, it's a benefit for ramp. And again, this is a have, so I think the card cares about everything being on the board at this point, much more so than it being just it on the board in general at any point during the game. Like, I think it has to be there when Caliban is checking.
Caliban, Horseman of Pestilence, affects your enemy's highest cost card with a historic amount of negative power.
So that does bring this over to at least it's just 7 power, right? That's half of Hulk's 14 there. We saw them using stuff with Doom 2099 in their deck already, which is fair. And I guess it's probably gonna be a random card as well if it is just a highest cost. Yeah. All right. I'm still sold on Caliban. This seems like a very good card. Very powerful. Completely countered by Luke Cage, but that wouldn't be the only card countered by Luke Cage this season, right?
Was the highest cost threat. Just kidding.
Why everyone gotta be dying? Can't we just live and be happy?
Maybe Ben wasn't attacked at all. Maybe something made him really hungry, and he decided to go grab a bite.
Y'all ever be hungry enough that you just keel over dead in the middle of an ancient pyramid? Now we've got Selene, the Horseman of Famine, at a 4-cost 4-power stat line with the objective have 3 cards with no abilities in play, right? So this does seem like, again, have means like it's checking each and every turn for this to be a thing. And once you do that, you get to steal 5 power from an enemy card here. It looks like it's going to be a bit random in that front, which makes sense. This just seems like this seems pretty great, right? This is Caliban is a 311, but this is a 414, which is an extra 3 points power for that extra bit. As an objective, it's slightly harder to do, which makes sense. However, this couldn't just be done by like a debris or a rhino. Yeah, Selene seems sick. Selene seems like a very crazy card. It also leans into an archetype that I'm so stoked that they're going to be basically bringing a brand new archetype that they're introducing this season, which I don't think has anything to do with any of these Series 5 cards, but we'll get there.
Selene, Horseman of Famine, activates when you have 3 cards with no abilities in play.
Yeah, take that, you lesser Gambit. However, it's not the highest powered card, right? Because Shocker had 4 power, whereas Gambit had 3. I think it still steals the 5 power from a random card there. I think that's what makes sense to me.
Then she steals power from an enemy card at her location.
Although, how does that work? Poor Ben, sorry. How does that work with cards, or like if you don't have any cards there, will it keep rechecking? Like, does the objective ability triggering, if it can't trigger, will it try to retrigger again the following turn, or does it just trigger once and that's it? Like, it has the objective been completed, it checks once, it tries to do the thing, and that's it. Now I'm questioning, I don't know if we have an answer there. All right, why are you talking about Ben being dead again?
Unless he never died.
Spend this whole video talking about Ben dying and he may not have even died in the first place?
Maybe he was removed?
But Ramatut is a 4-cost 5-power card with the on reveal ability. Use 3 on reveals from cards released before Ramatut's time. Are they going to specify what abilities those are? Also, whether or not they specify like what those abilities are. These are like, I think these are like employees trying to like get gameplay footage. Yeah, we don't see the letter following that, but that looks to be probably edible. It could be Incredible Ghost, but I feel like the text would be. Anyone ever played against an edible ghost on ladder? Or maybe it's just like a random generated name. Again, also, I think it's already technically a variant in the game. Wait, yeah, I literally have the Ramatut variant. Yeah, we already have this guy in the game. This doesn't seem correct.
On reveal, he rapidly triggers 3 on-reveal abilities from cards released before his era.
So what type of abilities does he even trigger? I missed this bit entirely. So this first one,
Is a time
I don't know what that effect is. What was that whole like boom effect? I don't know this one. I don't know what that animation was.
traveling Kang the Conqueror variant. On reveal,
Oh, a zombie horde?
triggers
Okay, so is that just the hunger then, I think? Because that's it only had a 2 power, but it wasn't Giant Man? Maybe it was Zombie Sentry, because there were only 2 cards in that lane. I don't know. Okay, so Zombie Sentry, an Iceman here as well?
from cards released before.
Is that like Electro or like a Psylocke extra energy thing?
His era.
Because, yeah, extra energy.
Dead. He may be.
Arrow. Wait, oh, and that last one, was that Sage? Was that Sage as the last one right there?
Ben may not be dead. He may be pre-released.
I'm still waiting for the Ben Brode card in the game. It has something to do with flannel. I don't know exactly, but it has to be a card at some point, right? World news? What? Why is there world? Oh,
Okay. So I'm not dead. I hope nobody overreacted.
they just spent a whole season release video just clout farming you, Ben. You gotta let people know and not just stop the video midway through. You gotta just wait a second and then you hit end recording. It looks like you also started recording in the middle of like getting ready. Like, come on, Ben. You used to know when to hit start and stop recording.
That reminds me. Check out these awesome limited time game modes.
Neither Tidy Writer nor Taddy, who is the opponent apparently, is showing it, but I believe there's also going to be a brand new team in the Team Clash game mode. I think it's going to be the Brotherhood of Mutants. I don't know what changes there are going to be in terms of different lineups. Like, I think some of the mutants that were bad were in the X-Men team, but now there's a Brotherhood of Mutants team, so I don't know what the shifts might be there, but that's an interesting note as well. I think there's now 6 teams. Cool stuff. So for what it's worth, according to the blog, Team Clash will be out on March 12th. And Sandstorm is going to be a 2-cost skill with the on reveal ability. Add 2 rocks to your hand, give them +1 power for each of your front row characters. Sandstorm seems like an awesome card. I think this will be sick. I'm excited about Sandstorm. It'll be cool. However, we also have, I'm cannot overstate how stoked I am for Ozymandias. It's going to have a 5 cost and then 9 power with the ongoing ability. Your rocks, just your rocks, have +3 power, and your rocks can already gain power, like we just saw with Sandstorm, and also cards like Mole Man. And I cannot overstate how stoked I am for a rock deck. This is extremely cool, and also is going to work really well with Selene, that Horseman of Famine. Going to be absolutely sick. I love it.
Enjoy the new Origins of Apocalypse season. Please tell us what you think and have fun with the new objective mechanic. Oh no. Not again!
Just let us know. That's not Ben? Okay, maybe this time he's actually dead.
Well, now he's dead.
Yeah, I'd agree. For what it's worth, there's also a couple other new locations as well, which are going to keep working with that rocks deck. There's the Pyramid of Ramatut, which is going to be adding a 3-cost rock to your hand if you don't have any there at the end of turn. And that's a location. So it's end of turn, add a 3-cost rock to your hand if you have none there. So I'm assuming if you don't have a rock, it will put a rock in your hand. So basically, your hand's getting clogged by just a rock. You also have the Chronosphere Sphinx, which is going to be copying the highest cost card in your deck into your hand. Both of those seem extremely cool. I like those established locations. And also, I don't like my game plan being messed with, right? At the same time, a lot of the more recent locations, I personally think, have been very kind. And I think it's a good thing personally that they are introducing a couple locations, at least Pyramid of Ramatut, which is going to be potentially clogging your hand, but it's still, it's like a 1/3, right? So it's still good. It's not amazing, but it's still cool as well. Drops are going to be back, as it says, here, March 3rd through the 6th. I will be live that evening. I think there's also going to be a bunch of other stuff happening over on my Twitch channel that night. It's going to be absolutely sick. I'm stoked about that. But not just that. And not just that, the Golden Gauntlet's coming back. That's going to be on March 7th. And they're going to have special, just for the Golden Gauntlet drops going on then, which you can get a Marvel Legends variant. I know I'll be getting that. Actually, I'm going to be in the Twitch chat that day. I'm actually going to be there all day. I'm going to be moderating all that stuff. So if you want to catch me over there, you can catch me over at that Twitch channel. I'll be working over there. So it should be a pretty good time. I'm stoked. And it's not just because there's a new emote that's going to be added for the complete collection. It's also just because I think this season's going to be a lot of fun. I honestly think that Ensaban Nur is going to be pretty fantastic. I think this is a very worthwhile ability to transform into, right? Not to mention, of course, Super Premium Season Pass is going to be really good for I feel like the last couple ones maybe didn't land super well. However, Iska the Unbeaten seems awesome. I like the objective abilities just in general. I think all of them are going to be absolutely just sick, as well as the rock synergies that we're getting this season. There's just a lot of really fun stuff coming out this season of Marvel Snap, and I'm just absolutely stoked about it. Although, to be fair, the unknown game modes are actually known as of now. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I am excited to mess with the objectives, excited to mess with the Horsemen, excited to rock on, as it were. See y'all around in the Origins of Apocalypse.